Woo, baby, I'm excited. We're back.
Guess who's back?
We are.
Back again.
We are.
We're back.
It's not a question. We're back. So we have to come up with a cold open, right?
Yes, we do. This is like our first chance for everybody to listen in, for new viewers to really get a chance to understand who we are leading into the podcast.
Of course. So I'll think of one.
Okay.
Is there any guidelines for it? Like, should just...
I guess we'd follow whatever YouTube guidelines there are.
So nothing like, inappropriate. And it's the first couple minutes.
You should probably stay away from that.
Okay. Oh, I got it.
All right, let's hear it.
Sky blue. Her outfit?
Mm-hmm.
Where I think I got an erection.
All right. Well, we talked about this, and you just blew right through it.
I did?
Yeah.
No, I did. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
We're going to get demonetized now.
Oh, no. Wait, we're monetized?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my cockies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookie's Squared Circle.
What do I want to start with? What do you want to start with?
Do you want to start with I feel like I feel so out of place. Like, literally the last time we talked about speculation of Edge coming back.
I guess it was that long ago.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about Edge coming back.
Edge coming to AEW.
Right.
Said Edge coming back.
Because I was
never really left.
I was busy one weekend.
Yeah.
With a wedding, and then Darren was in New York the week after.
It sounded like you said wedding.
A wedding. I was filming a wedding. All right.
Oh.
I was working.
Oh, I thought you had to go to a wedding.
No, I was working. And it was like 2 hours away, so like it was like an all day thing. Anyway.
Speaking of which, congrats. It's been a year now.
It has been a year.
That's
It's
fucking
also been a year.
ridiculous. Because I was like, oh shit, that was a year ago.
Yeah, I think one of the weirdest things was like we were obviously acknowledging it, but then I think one of the things that like really, really did it was like when Facebook was like, here's memories. And I'm like,
Here's
oh
memories
shit,
of your wedding.
It knows. Yeah, no, it was cool. We went the night before, so the day before our anniversary, like the official day before, we went and we had dinner at the same restaurant that we had the rehearsal dinner at.
Oh.
So it was like the day before our anniversary, we went and ate at the same place that we ate the day before we got married. To which, when I tell people, or when I tell certain people, they ask, like, did you do that on purpose, or did it just happen? I'm like, we did it on purpose.
Wait, did you actually do it on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
because you said about the Facebook thing, and I was like, wait a minute, did you actually do it on purpose?
We were planning on going there because we love it there, and it's kind of like a special occasion type place. Like we don't go there very often. So we were like, oh, let's go on our actual anniversary, and I had to work. We both had to work. I was filming a wedding, and she was doing prep, so she was going to be gone for like 3-4 hours. So we just decided to do it the day before.
Nice. Because you have enough time for weddings, but you can't have enough time to appreciate the weddings. I guess?
Yeah. And also, to be clear for all the listeners, they booked me for that weekend for that wedding. They booked me months in advance, and I got permission from my wife before I booked a day to work on our actual anniversary. Okay.
I thought they were like, yeah, we're gonna book you for your fucking wedding anniversary. 'Cause fuck you, that's why.
Well, I mean, that's one of the nice things about being a freelancer. I can deny any job I want. I could have very easily been like, sorry, it's my anniversary, I can't do it. So I went to so when they gave me the date, I went to my wife and was like, hey, this couple reached out. It's the same day. What do you think? Like, what do you think about like celebrating the day before instead of
And she said,
the day of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I know it's not what you're signed up for probably in the beginning part. I mean, rude humor and talking about wedding anniversaries. But we have to catch up. So if you're sitting
We
there
gotta catch
going,
up.
talk about wrestling, guys, I don't care.
We're about to.
We're about to. Yeah.
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 Speaking of LA Knight, Crown Jewel.
Main eventing
Yeah, he's not gonna
with
win.
I don't care. He's main eventing.
This is the problem with the
Listen,
Roman
at this
Reigns
point,
storyline.
no one's beating Reigns until
That's the problem with
WrestleMania.
that's the problem with the Roman Reigns storyline. It's predictable and it's no fun. Which was a good point. Go ahead. What do you think of? I mean, first of all, imagine the shock when he actually gets beat.
Right. So my opinion stays the same. Just because it's predictable doesn't mean it's not good.
Well, like the TikTok that we got sent today, it's very right. Solo Sikoa and the Usos have been the main point of the bloodline.
Right.
I don't think Roman had attributed anything to him besides he's the kingpin or the.
I mean, he's
you know.
been doling out pretty good matches. I mean, I
What
gotta
matches?
give the guy props, dude. The tag match with
Okay, all right.
with Solo Sikoa against Usos, that was awesome.
Okay.
The match with Zayn was awesome. The match with
but
Cody
there's-
was awesome.
Those are also every other. The thing that it's a contrast. Listen, my issues are a contrast issue, which is between AEW and WWE. I assume there's going to be fighting champions, not this bullshit where it's just like
What
every
about MJF?
pay-per-view. Yeah, but MJF also has another title.
When's the last time that bozo defended his championship? He's looking like Roman
All
Reigns
in.
now, isn't he?
All in.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he could lose it any. I know he can lose it at any time.
that's true. That's true.
Like, why are they still like? For example, Samoa Joe. They're still pushing that. I thought he gave him respect at the end of the match, unless it was a thing of like, he legitimately saw, oh, he cheated to win, so now I'm.
Well,
still
he's the
mad.
one who got choked out with the. He
Yeah.
would know. I think it was. I mean, he did like the promo thing and stuff like
Yeah.
2 weeks after, where he basically was essentially was like, I give you props for like being the guy to do whatever you have to do to win, but like I'm still coming after you. I'm gonna get the title, which I think is good. Like that's like the type of character and stuff that like pro wrestling continues to need. Not that everybody has to be like, I give you respect and whatever, but like I feel like that's what used to be like really cool about when AEW first started was that whole thing of like everybody's goal is to win a championship, and it's very clear that like if you're not in a blood feud grudge match, that the guy you're fighting is like your stepping stone to
Yeah.
trying to become number one contender. Like because I know you didn't really watch when it first started. Like when AEW first started, a lot of the like individual one-on-one matches that would happen just weekly and the tag matches that would happen just weekly like felt like that. It felt like everybody was trying to be better than the other guy so that way they could go and win the championship. Like it was very
Well, yeah,
it had a very different feel from WWE.
I think everyone in that company had something to prove though back then,
Oh, absolutely.
which helps towards the.
Yeah, and so that's like that's why I really appreciate like even Joe just calling it out in a promo. Like, yeah, I'm gonna defend my TV title. I give you props, but like I'm still gonna use all these other guys I'm beating as my stepping stone to getting back to MJF to win the world championship.
Well, even the side point that you made, where even like Orange kind of almost made reference or like kind of hinted at the fact that like there was people who were out there going like, oh, is he gonna fight Hook again since he lost it? He's like, no, he's just gonna win the title back. Like,
yeah. So
that
did
kind
you
of
hear?
thing.
Did you hear the reason why he won the title back?
because of the visa issues.
Yeah, the visa issues.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was supposed to be Moxley, but he didn't get cleared soon enough.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Which is it is interesting.
When is Moxley gonna go on vacation?
Never. The motherfucker's never going on vacation. I had so I like Orange Cassidy back in that spot, but I almost wish, and I think they put Orange Cassidy in the spot because they know he could deliver, and
I think he's steady.
that's the word. But I really wish they had done somebody else. Like, in all honesty, the match was fucking bonkers awesome, but like, And they had already booked Swerve, but like I would have really liked like if they were like, let's put somebody else in the spot. Ray Phoenix keeps the championship, and then do like Daniel Bryan Swerve, winner gets TNT, loser gets international. I don't know. I guess I was looking at it and I was like, man, if they were just gonna give if they had to get the title off of Phoenix, why the fuck did they not just give it to Swerve?
Yeah.
Like Swerve, I was so, like, I love Daniel Bryan. I love what they were doing. I was so mad. Not mad, but I wish he had won. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, Swerve is awesome, and
Swerve
he should not be
needs
losing
something,
right
yeah.
now. Like, Swerve is so over, and he's a great heel, and they shouldn't have put him in a position where he had to lose.
I mean, going back, and we've definitely sidetracked, and we can go back on here.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's the same as LA Knight, where it's like you have this person who you want to be bad, but you have something that he's doing that makes people want to cheer him.
Yeah.
The Yez and Whose House is two examples of like, you can turn this guy into a big baby face and give him a title, and unlike LA Knight, Swerve probably will actually get a title.
True.
Which brings me to Crown Jewel, because I wanted to talk about that first.
Crown Jewel.
It's 2 weeks away, but I still wanted to talk about it now.
Okay.
Because a fatal 5-way, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez.
So I really don't watch Raw. I only watch highlights of things that interest me. How did Zoe Stark get the fuck in this mix?
So this is the thing.
I feel like everybody else makes sense except her.
This is actually quite good at how they storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why all these people are in this match is because Nia Jax pretty much destroyed most of them. So when it came to Shayna Baszler and I think Nia Jax attacked Shayna as well, but Shayna came back.
Yeah, I know the four of them were fighting.
Yeah, they came back, and it was literally just like everyone who had got beaten up by Nia Jax was back to beat up Nia Jax. So like Rhea was trying to get her revenge, and everyone kept interrupting her to get revenge on Nia as well. So then it was just like a concept of everyone was just brawling. It was actually quite a cool like setup to be like, she was like, man, like, oh, like all these people are attacking me, and I just want to beat up Nia. And then Adam Pearce was like, well, Rhea, you're going to fight them in a fatal 5-way. And so that was the setup for that. The other 4 matches are the men's titles. Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, I saw that.
LA Knight and Roman Reigns.
And
it says with Paul Heyman with him. And then Drew McIntyre and
Seth. I'm interested in Drew and Seth.
Have I expressed on the podcast how much I hate Seth freaking Rollins?
Probably.
Because I would rather him be Seth fucking Rollins or not at all. Like it just feels so like dumbed down. That's just me though. I feel like I've never expressed that, but
okay.
I love him.
Your thing is about the name, not the character or the person.
I think
or whatever.
fuck has more of an impact too.
Right. Yeah, and I would venture to say that even on AEW, that's not going to fly.
Oh no, not at all. But it would be like I was thinking like more of the indies.
Yeah. So
it works.
I feel like the Seth freaking Rollins thing would work really well if it wasn't so heavily WWE marketed.
It's freaking. If it was friggin', I would like it. Seth friggin' Rollins. That would have been better. I don't know if they could do that, but.
So
like FRIGG.
Yeah. So like I think it would work really well if Seth Rollins were like to be the only one who like calls himself Seth freaking Rollins, like, or like if it was his catchphrase or his thing or whatever, but it's so heavily WWE marketed that like even the commentators say it constantly, and I think that's what makes it like
oh my God.
not cool.
You know who I hate is it Kevin? Not Kevin Owens. It can't be Kevin Owens.
It can't be Kevin Owens. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Patrick something? The Scottish or Irish guy. He's the new guy that they have on commentary. He is so weird with how his delivery is strange. Like he sounds like he's out of breath sometimes. He's gonna do it.
Does he say people's names weird?
Well, yeah.
Christian.
No.
Christian
Nigel
Cage.
McGuinness is a goddamn treasure. We need to protect him with all our heart.
Love Nigel McGuinness.
I think he's great.
I love the way he says Christian.
I watched a documentary on him, the WWE documentary, about how like it was like that never was, where it's just like all he wanted to do was get to WWE, and then he was nope.
Yep.
And they're like, well, why don't you come down and do commentary? He's like, all right, why not?
He went to TNA.
Yeah, it was very weird. Well, he did their European tour tournament or something like that. He did the NXT.
He was a commentator for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where like, oh, Michael Cole was like, everyone talks about you so much. He's like, I wanted to see if he'd want to come do this tournament for us. And yeah, he's so good. I was listening to him from Collision yesterday. He's just so good.
Yeah.
He called Bryan Danielson a clam digger.
I think
I was like, what?
I like this is something I really like with commentators, and that he does is he doesn't just he doesn't do the like heel face commentator thing where it's like I like all the heels, I like all the faces, or I hate all the heels, I like all the faces, or vice versa if he's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah.
He
definitely
has
a
like
color commentary.
Yeah, he has like individual people that he likes and doesn't like, which I think adds like a whole layer to commentary.
Yeah.
I do still believe that I think his like quote unquote hatred for Daniel Bryan is totally leading to Daniel Bryan's final match being him and Nigel McGuinness.
I would love that.
And I would not be surprised if the final match is him and Nigel McGuinness at All In London next year.
Perfect segue because Bryan Danielson.
Did I say Daniel Bryan?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I just randomly was.
Gotcha.
So Bryan Danielson was attacked last night on Collision by the man we've both met, House of Black's Malachi Black. Great guy, fun guy.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out where this goes. Is this going to a 6-man tag? Or is this going to him and is the 6-man tag maybe on Dynamite or something, and then we'll get Daniel or Bryan Danielson and Malachi Black 101 at Full Gear?
Which is weird because I don't. Did you see?
I really want that 101 match.
Did you see the FTR stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, what the fuck is House of Black doing? I don't understand.
Because I was like, oh, they could do House of Black for. Oh wait, no, they attacked FTR, not the BCC.
So yeah, because I was watching and I was like, okay, if they attacked just BCC, it would have like made sense. But they also attacked FTR, which doesn't make sense.
Can I say?
I'm so confused.
Can I say the fact that I got nauseous just because the fact of Andrade and Malachi were in the same vicinity for a quick second that I was like, oh God, please tell me he's going to be attacking Bryan Danielson. I was like, please don't have Andrade involved with this
again.
Don't do this again. We've done that already.
It's interesting that they're going to. It seems like they're going to House of Black and BCC, because back when House of Black were the 6-man tag champs, it seemed like randomly on Dynamite they would do 6-man tags with BCC where it'd be Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler. And in my head I was kind of like, that's where you should go if you want to like make the 6-man tag belts mean something or whatever. Yeah. Do a good feud with House of Black and BCC for the 6-man tag belts, or trios belts. That obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the concept. I think what Bryan is doing is he's going for all the people who were big NXT stars because he couldn't at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because Andrade was a great match, a fantastic match last night. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was watching, like I was like, I don't even like either of these guys. Like really like love these guys. But I still loved that match.
He is, in my eyes, he is clearly, very clearly, and I mean, he did say so basically in a promo, but
yeah.
I think he is very clearly being like, this is my last year. I'm doing fucking banger match after banger match all year.
And he's like, he's got a picture where it's like, who have I not fought yet?
Yeah.
And it's like scratching off people's faces.
Because like, Jesus Christ, that match with Swerve was fucking awesome. And
if he doesn't, if when he comes back, if Adam Cole doesn't face him, I'd be just just disappointed.
Yeah. Like, if you look at it, like, since he made that announcement, it was like Zack Sabre Jr., awesome. Swerve Strickland, awesome. Andrade, awesome.
Banger.
Christian,
Banger.
like,
Banger.
even Christian, banger.
Banger.
Like, damn. He is like...
I didn't think you'd do it with me, but you
I
did.
I got you. Which is why I'm excited. So I really hope that, like, even if they do a 6-man tag match, I really want him to fucking fight Malachi one-on-one.
Yeah.
I
I think that's the best way to
let
do
Daniel Bryan just, like, fucking destroy these matches.
I think Brian's gonna definitely. There's no way he's not going to There's no way he's gonna be like, and we're just gonna do a 6-man tag and then that's it.
Yeah.
There's
My only hope is that if they're gonna do both, that they do the one-on-one match at the pay-per-view and do the 6-man tag on Dynamite instead of vice versa. Because I totally see a world where they, to get more people on the pay-per-view, they do the 6-man tag on the pay-per-view and the one-on-one match on Dynamite, which I think would be like a little bit of a disservice to both of those guys.
Yeah. I think though with Brian, I think it's one of those things where it's a better version of CM Punk where it's just like, I'm going to get what I asked for from Tony, regardless.
Right.
But it's less of a like, Brian's not going to be like, what'd you say to me, you little shit? I'll fight you. That kind of stuff. He's going to go, okay, I can trust Brian to be doing an amazing match. And he just feels like, you definitely feel, even like with the media scrums that he's been in, you feel like he's part of the crew backstage, like a big part of the crew backstage, where he's doing like, you can't really tell that as much with the way Orange is, just the way he deals with stuff with Tony, but you can tell for sure that when Brian goes into the media scrums, he's talking as if they're a company, not like what I did out there last. He goes like, well, yeah, I wanted to really do this. Like he doesn't like kind of. He kind of like drops the kayfabe when he does media scrums, which I like.
Right.
It's like he when he talked about breaking his arm with Okada, which by the way will be on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was
Okada.
pretty cool. I was like, really, Okada and Orange Cassidy?
Yeah, that seemed like it was kind of out of nowhere.
Are they fighting the BCC?
Bryan Danielson and Claudio, I think.
Oh, that's even worse.
Actually, I forget if it's Claudio or Wheeler.
I think it is
Let me
Claudio.
look.
And I mean worse, I mean better. When I said worse, I mean like there's a grudge match there. Okada's probably upset that he lost.
Probably. I would be.
You'd be. But then again, when you think about it,
It is Claudio.
If you were, then you'd be like, also be like, well, you know what? It's not that bad. I'm actually the Rainmaker Okada. So,
yep,
that's pretty cool.
Bryan Danielson, Claudio against.
I'm talking
Orange Cassidy
simply
and
in a concept of Quantum Leap. You have entered Okada's body, and you are now Okada, like Quantum Leap.
Oh,
do you understand that? Do you ever?
I'm
heard
the
of
Rainmaker.
No, you're not. No, I'm not saying that you are right now. I'm saying in this situation.
What?
Like Quantum Leap, where Scott Bakula goes into another person's body and he's there, and like when he sees himself in the mirror, he's like, when you'd see yourself
What does
in the
that
mirror.
have to do with what the fuck we're talking about?
Hold on, when you'd see yourself in the mirror, you'd be Okada, but you'd be you.
Okay. The fuck does this have to
You
do
would
with?
be Okada.
I am Okada.
So
the
if you were
Rainmaker.
would you be upset that you lost to Bryan Danielson? Or would you go, it's okay, I'm still Okada?
That's a weird fucking roundabout to get to that statement.
Okada's gonna be on Wednesday night.
Jesus Christ!
I
we
loved it. I loved
fucking took the I-95 to get
the
there.
confusion on your face was the best part of that, right? You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I would be mad. I'm fucking Okada. I must get my revenge.
You still answered the question though.
Mhm.
You're like, yeah, I'd be mad.
Yeah. All leading to Okada, Danielson, Sabre Jr. triple threat. I don't know.
Oh my.
Although I don't know.
We also have Hikaru Shida versus
Ruby Soho.
Couldn't think of it.
Jesus Christ, we need to do something with the women's division.
It's
There's
not
fucking
bad.
nothing interesting happening.
I do.
That's not true. I like Tony Storm.
Tony Storm. Tony Storm is a comedic genius. The fact that they would go, let's make this big thing out of it's kind of like the Sammy Q card thing, but it's less of it's more of a build up where you're like,
I give them
this is gonna be a big deal, and then they just play it during the commercial, and it's just like that's so funny.
I give them so much credit because originally I was like, this is dumb as shit, and it's not, and I don't understand why it's not. I just know that I love it.
It's good. It's good.
She's ready for her close up.
That's another one of those things where like there is stuff that I can tell the Waffle Group. Excuse me. And some of the stuff sticks, some of the stuff doesn't. LA Knights, yeah, sticks, of course. Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe.
Yep.
That's something Dan said last night. Well, he just said watch for the shoe, but he didn't say the whole thing. But it's just when there's stuff that I can have my friends who don't watch wrestling say and have no context besides just the source material and be like, this is a funny thing. I'm going to keep on saying it because it works. I think it's over. If I can get someone who doesn't watch wrestling, it's over, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Toni Storm, fantastic.
Her husband, fantastic.
The rest of the women's division, the fuck is going on in the rest of the women's division? Nothing interesting is happening in this division.
They're doing something with Chris. I like what they're doing with Chris.
It's taking too long.
Are they going to make a huge like feud or a huge group for the House of Black?
I don't know. It's taking too long.
So is Sky Blue going to join them? Because it seems like that.
I don't know, and it's taking too long.
But Julia Hart's out for a couple of days because she's getting married.
So here's my thing.
It's taking too long.
It's taking too long. So I get it. Like I get that I'm a millennial. I get that there is stuff with like instant gratification and like not letting stories like fully play out and everything. I also firmly believe that AEW on many occasions takes way too fucking long to tell some of these stories. Like Julia Hart should not have taken fucking like almost a year.
Well, hold on. What I think the concept was,
like, I get what they're doing with Sky Blue and Willow and stuff, but like I don't care. It's taking too long. I don't care.
Well, I don't know what they're gonna do with that because now Willow is I don't think under the corruption of the House of Black anymore.
Right.
She shook Chris's hand and she's
like, I get it. I get it if they're gonna do that with Sky Blue. Good. It's totally cool if they're gonna do it. Why does it need to take like 6 months to fucking tell this story?
So I get that right there. But Julia Hart turning on the Varsity Blondes, that was one of those things where it was so good. It was such a relief because everyone knew it was going to happen.
It took so long, I didn't care.
No, because when it happened, I was like, yeah, everyone was like, well, yeah, we knew. Like, I feel like it was such a thing of like, it was such a be like, it's like when Christian did it too, where like Christian betrayed Jack Perry. Mm-hmm. We all knew it was going to come. And as soon as it happened, everyone was cheering because we knew it was going to happen. It might not have been a good heel turn or a face turn, but it was a heel turn, and we all was like, yes, this is what we want. This is what we're waiting for.
Yeah. I don't know. Christian, I felt that way. Actually, Christian, I was getting close to being like, I don't care anymore.
Because I think it's
Julia Hart, I didn't even pop. It had taken so long for me, I didn't care. I legit was like, I don't care.
I think for some people, obviously not for Kibbles, it's the delivery. It's when you do it, I think. It's not you don't see it. I understand that you don't see it. It's not a thing of like you're wrong. It's like that's just you.
Right.
It's not
right.
like that. I'm not saying like, yeah.
My opinion is there is a happy medium to too fast and too long, and I feel like AEW a lot of times takes way too long.
So
to
in
do
that
stuff.
As far as the Julia Hart thing and the Christian thing, I want to ask you because I'm curious about it. Is it more of do you need small hints and then it happens, or do you just need it to come out of nowhere?
I like small hints and then it happens. I like being able to see.
So you're saying this is too many hints?
Yeah. I think you need both in a storyline organization, right? You need both. You need to have moments that kind of come out of nowhere. You need to have moments that like you can foreshadow and see.
Okay.
Here's the problem. So here's the thing with me. We've been doing this thing with Sky Blue for Jesus Christ. She got sprayed in the face like what 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Like
I think so.
Like I don't understand. Like, and I can get like the progression of like whatever, but like
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't take like why am I still waiting for her to just be a heel when like she's kind of being a heel but kind of not being a heel, but like she's fighting
it is
it
a
like
problem of it's uncertain.
could we get like 2 months of fighting it and then she turns? Like I think then I'd be a little more invested. Like I don't need to watch her fight this turn for like 8 months and then it finally happen.
I like the concept that Willow will not be a heel now. I assume Willow will not be a heel now because of the fact that she is too upbeat and positive.
Yeah.
I like that concept. Sky Blue, whatever. Put her on House of Black. I don't really care.
Right.
But,
I mean, it probably also doesn't help that like I don't feel like they're giving me a reason to care about Sky Blue or this character change or
the problem with her is she's there to wrestle. She's not someone who's like interested in doing story or like she's not very good at doing stories. I think she's more there just like she likes to wrestle. Like she's good on an indie basis where it's just like you just watch her wrestle, she does a good match and that's it. It's she doesn't seem like she can.
Right. And the problem is that so I'm going to say it from my opinion. The problem is for me that she is like, oh, I'm not if she's like I'm not interested in doing the stories and stuff, I just want to go out and put out these great matches and do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
She's not good enough to make me care about her matches.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing too. She has had good matches, but the thing is that when she's doing this right now, she has more of a I don't want to be here kind of face than a I'm evil kind of face. You know what I mean? Like Julia Hart can look like she is benevolent or evil or whatever you want to fucking call it, but Sky Blue doesn't. I don't see that. I see her just be like just done with everything.
Right.
It's all in her body language is so off that she's there for the basis of like I like to wrestle, but there's nothing conveying to me that
like
she's,
give me like I know this is a super extreme example and doesn't wholly make sense because of the people that they are, but stay with me for the sake of the example.
Okay.
If there were to be two wrestlers who were like, I'm just here, I'm going to put on these awesome matches and make you care about me because I put on these awesome matches, not because I'm in some storyline. AR Fox totally works because he puts on these amazing, crazy matches that get me invested. Let's say QT Marshall wanted to take that approach. He's not doing good enough matches for me to care about him as
he's
a wrestler without being a character.
I think he's a good bad guy, but on his matches, it's like, eh.
Well, that's why I said if he didn't have a character,
do you think they're two different contrasts? Are you saying?
Right.
Okay.
So like I'm saying, if that's
it's a perfect example. I get that.
If that's Sky Blue's opinion, then like, girl, you need to put on some better matches because like you as a wrestler, you as just a wrestler without a personality is not good enough to make me care about you or your matches.
Well, there was shit. I already forgot the concept I was going to use. You said AR Fox, and then you said,
which is why I tried to bring that example. Like if AR Fox were to be like that and not be in storylines, just be in matches, like I'm all in on AR Fox because he has awesome matches.
Is it Jay or Jimmy? One of the two. One of the Usos.
Right.
The perfect example of they're good wrestlers, but with the bloodline stuff, always breaking, trying to be serious, and always have it. Either Sammy will make him laugh or whoever will make him laugh. Always laughing. That kind of concept is what you don't want, but it's just like, I mean, with his breaking, it's kind of like the funny thing of like, he's messing up, but that's what I mean. Like that concept of you don't want Sky Blue breaking and smiling when she's trying to do this thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really kind of it draws away from
and you know what? Maybe the whole. I'll also admit, there's a totally possible. There's a total possible world where the fact that I don't care about this Sky Blue thing is because I had no interest or investment in her character prior to getting sprayed in the mist to having this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not invested in her character, so I don't give a shit about her turning heel.
Yeah, when I did the cold open, I didn't think we'd be talking about her that much. I was like, oh, this is just a funny joke.
That's true. Somehow we got into this.
But yeah,
anyway.
It's still, I agree with you. It's very much a weird.
We got down this route because I said that we have Toni Storm, and otherwise, like, I don't care about anything else in the women's division. Hikaru Shida's the champion, and I feel like she's just doing that championship thing where they just have random matches.
Well, I mean, but what's different from that and Orange Cassidy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to defy you.
No.
Legitimately.
I think the only difference is that personally, I am more invested in Orange Cassidy as a character than I am in Hikaru Shida. But I will also say I had the same complaint and issue with Orange Cassidy's reign, where I was kind of like, hey, can we like build up some competitors and build up a story and do something here instead of just like these random matches? I think that's why, in all honesty, Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley fucking rocked. Like, because they built a story around the championship, around the characters, around doing something, and wasn't just like, here on this random Wednesday, we're going to have Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, and they're going to put on a good match, and then we're going to move on with our lives. I think they do that way too much in AEW.
No, I get you.
That's just my opinion. I think that, you know, they could do a better job of generating stories and things.
I get what you're trying to say.
Because I mean, I would like, in all honesty, I had the same complaint about Orange. Yeah, no, even in the middle and towards the end, they'd be like him versus the Butcher for no fucking reason, like other than they want to pad his stats so that way when he loses the title, they can say, oh, he defended it every week and he successfully defended it 30 times before somebody finally beat him. Like, in my opinion, the only reason they have these random one-off matches are A, to try to pop ticket sales, and B, to move the stats so they can use the stats when they want to talk about stats.
This is a side note, but you made me think of it. Is Ami Sakura the Dustin Rhodes of the females?
Probably.
Like
like that felt so random. Why the fuck was that?
Or
Ami Sakura versus Hikaru Shida.
What do you mean?
That match was so random. They were just like, well, here's this match. And then they tried to be like, here's this 1-minute video package about how...
But she trains most of the women. That's why I'm like...
But there was like a whole...
Dustin Rhodes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But there was a whole like extra... But there's a whole extra layer behind that in the commentary where they were like, and Ami Sakura trained Hikaru Shida like 10 years ago, and she's beaten her 8 times out of 10 or whatever. And I'm like... Why the fuck is this not like like why didn't we take 3 weeks to build this match up or whatever to like make this match mean something when Hikaru Shida beats her?
I'm surprised they don't use Ami Sakura more because of the fact that she is a trainer for a lot of the women.
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous to me. I'm like, why don't you just use her more
she's just cannon fodder. She's just brought into
she's a fun, entertaining match, but that's like
right.
You don't like put her on the mic, so have her say something, have her like she's not really like I said, like with Dustin Rhodes, never really a thing where like she's shooting for something. She's not really like,
right.
She's just like, I'm just here to get a paycheck and help train and just make everybody better.
And there's such a built-in story with her and Shida. And even if like, okay, she trained Shida a while ago, but like let's pretend, let's dive in terms of kayfabe. Like she does train a lot of the women. Like she's training them on essentially how to be champion, which means how to beat Hikaru Shida. So why would she not like? How was that not like a big feud that we blew off at?
Imagine doing this for. Imagine them actually trying to put in work and do this for, Full Gear.
Right. That's what. Yeah. This would have been an awesome match for Full Gear.
And then that way, now what you're doing is you're just moving on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big problem with AEW where they're like they just run something immediately into the ground before it even can get legs to it.
Right. And then there's other shit where they run it into the goddamn ground.
I didn't want to use
point that I'm like, I'm done with this. Move on.
I didn't want to use the term "blow your load" right on the first week, and then go okay, and then they're gonna fight someone new the next week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, what was it BCC and Jericho Appreciation Society? I think that was the feud. Was it earlier this year or last year that I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Move the fuck on.
And Eddie Kingston would show up.
That's right.
And there.
Yep. And you're like, but I remember both of us were like, Joe, move the fuck on. I'm so done with this feud.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah. it's. I mean, we hit the nail on the head. I think we both were like, "Wow, this could have been a really good multi-week story that really could have culminated in a match that I actually wanted to see and cared about." And then I don't know. I think no, I agree with you. I think AEW probably holds a little too hard and fast to the like, this is going to be a cool match, and like that's just like their booking style for a lot of stuff. It's just like, come watch this cool match.
Speaking of cool matches,
which may or may not be the issues behind, like, I don't want to get into it. Like what you like, but like, and like I'm also not looking at ticket sales. I don't care what their ticket sales are. I want them to be successful. But I mean, like, if people keep talking about ticket sales and stuff, like, yeah, it's because you're not building any week-to-week stories aside from one or two that people actually want to see. Like, everything is just a hot shot, wait till the last minute to announce these matches.
So can we talk about that? Because I was going to bring up this is perfectly slides into what you were talking about.
Yep.
Mystico versus Rocky
Road Ice Cream?
No.
Rocky and Bullwinkle?
No, the best friends.
Rocky Romero?
Rocky Romero. I wanted to say Ramona, and I'm like, that's not it. Rocky Romero versus Mystico, a.k.a., Sin Cara, whatever you want to fucking call him. So they're making a big deal out of the ticket sales for that. But the problem is that what I don't get is, okay, so this is the thing. That seems like something where no one who is a casual wrestling fan is going to be like, Rocky Romero versus Mystico?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Sin Cara? No one's going to do that.
No.
So when you do something like that, why, like you said, why aren't you doing more feuds? Because the hardcore fan, I think, was what matters. The hardcore fan is what's going to stay. You can draw in more people by doing stuff, like more casual fans by drawing stuff. You should worry about the long-term fans, because when you're doing stuff like that and it goes nowhere, then you're losing out on just gaining an audience.
I think that it's coming back and biting them in the ass a little bit.
Because no one's going to go, oh, Mystico? Oh, I definitely... People who are going to see Mystico are going, oh, I loved him when he was Sin Cara in WWE. They're not going and saying, like, oh, Mystico, this is going to be fun. Because no one buys tickets but like a couple days before not knowing who the fuck someone is. That doesn't make any sense.
And it was it also is weird that they were like trying to build it up like, oh, this is crazy that Mystico is going to be on American television wrestling for the championship or whatever, and they're announcing it like 2 days before the
But I mean,
or a week before, and there's like a little 30-second video package. Like, you're not introducing him to any of the audience. Nobody, you know what I mean? You're not. He's not doing anything for the brand.
It's yeah. Well, no, I don't think that's where I disagree. There is because I don't think it's for that brand. I don't think it's for AEW. It's them giving respect to the MLC, whatever the company that they're originally from.
That's just fine.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not. Again,
it's not going to do
hardcore fans are going to get that, but it was so niche of a match to announce, and yet they're like, oh, we had a lot of fans come in, and more tickets were bought because of that announcement match. I'm like, that seems like something where there's a hardcore fans. You shouldn't worry about the casual fans at that point.
Yeah,
because the casual fans aren't going to know who the fuck you're talking about, from where, from why, and what title they have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there was a spike in, how much of a spike or whatever. I'm sure there was a spike in ticket sales because of the announcement. It kind of comes with the territory of there was probably hardcore fans who weren't going to go, and then because of the announcement, they did decide to go.
It could be. I mean, I could be tone deaf on the situation. It could be people who I don't know. I don't think it's a casual thing. I think it's
not
straight up a hardcore fan.
It's not. They're trying to do. I think because it worked really well for AEW in the beginning, the first probably year and a half. They were pulling really good TV ratings and really good ticket sales. And I think it was, and like, I feel like if you look at it, it was really based around like these larger than life dream matches that you never thought you were going to get to see, or on free TV, and it drew people in. Like, I go back to or like these really cool, maybe not dream matches, but these really cool like big matches being like put together and stuff. Like, I think back to the early days of Dynamite and all of the, like, a lot of the early on main events. Like, one of the first main events ever on Dynamite was Jon Moxley versus Pac. Like, yeah, that's going to draw in it's going to draw in the people that want to watch AEW. It's going to draw in the hardcore audience who would maybe be on the fence about turning it on that Wednesday night, or the difference between watching live or watching DVR'd. Because of those two talents, it's going to bring in more casual fans because they know them both
Dean
from
Ambrose
WWE.
versus
Right, it's
Neville.
Yeah, it's and because this was and because this was Pac getting back for the first time on U.S. television, you are probably getting a larger UK audience watching. Or like other main events where like they did one of the first, I think it was like the third or fourth Dynamite. The main event was Darby Allin and Chris Jericho in a like a no holds barred match. And like that's really the first time that people started like seeing like the crazy shit that Darby Allin's doing. So like it's new, it's fresh, it gets people watching. Even in the early days, you would get like Kenny Omega. Within the first, maybe it was the first year, you got like Kenny Omega and Pac. The third match in their feud was a 30-minute Iron Man match that you got on TV. So like I don't know, there were these just big matches that, because you had these big matches, it would bring you in week to week.
Yeah.
And I think that the well has run dry on those style of big matches that you can do that are going to keep people coming in. And so I think now what you have to do is you have to establish substance to get people to come back, or to get people to tune in week to week. I also think that because they've added a bunch of shows, it's diluted things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a perfect example because you've never seen this era of Dynamite. When Dynamite first started, because there was only the 2-hour show Dynamite. Now they had Dark, but they really didn't advertise and show a lot of, like, they didn't say this match is going to happen on Dark or whatever. You either watched it or you didn't. But in the early days of Dynamite, and this used to get me so hype, so hype. They would legit, at the end of the show where they're like, this Friday, blah, 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 this Saturday, we've got this 1 or 2 match or whatever. They legit would be like, next week, we've got here's these 4 matches we already have announced. By the way, the week after, here's these 2 matches we have announced. The week after, here's the main event for that week. And they would go like, because it was only the 2-hour Dynamite, they'd be announcing and promoting just Dynamite. So they'd be announcing and promoting Dynamite like 3-4 weeks out. So that they legit would be like, before we head into tonight's main event, which is Chris Jericho versus Darby Allin, for example, in the No Holds Barred match. Don't forget to tune in next week where our main event's going to be Pac versus Jon Moxley. And by the way, in 2 weeks, don't forget to tune in because our main event, or one of our big matches, is going to be Kenny Omega versus I don't know, fucking Claudio or something.
Jim Jangleberry.
Yeah, and then they're like, also, don't forget to tune in 3 weeks when the tag titles are on the line, the Young Bucks against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy in a ladder match. Like, they would, like, and so, like, I think, personally for me, that got me so excited to keep watching because I was like, oh, I know what's happening this week, and I know most of what's happening next week, and I know the main event in 2 weeks, and so it felt like stories were always consistently building.
Do you think that?
Whereas now they'll be like, next week on Dynamite, here's some stuff. They'll be like, here's 2 matches for next week on Dynamite. Here's the full Rampage. Here's 2 matches for Collision, and by the way, we'll announce more stuff later.
Yeah. Do you think that the matches, the doing the random matches randomly, do you think that works without a title, or do you think that's why it is an issue?
I don't feel like it works without a title.
What do you mean? But I mean, like the build up stuff, I feel should be more for the title than just doing like random matches
you could do it
for the title.
Right. And I think, and then I think that's why,
like what I said,
you should be building those matches should be around one of 2 things. It should be around a personal issue that somebody has with somebody, or I'm beating you because you are a stepping stone for me to get to that thing.
Yeah.
And they don't do that a lot. It's like, here's this random cool match. Go.
Yeah. Which is, I think, the thing I said. But like I was saying, with like with Emmy and Sheeta, they could just do that on a random show if none of them had a title.
Right.
The fact they're just like, this is an eliminator match, and it's just like,
Yeah.
why not just have her build up to Full Gear and just have her fight? Because Emi Sakura is going to put on a good match with her regardless, but I don't think they give her the time to do that.
Yeah, and then it's also weird because that match. I mean, this doesn't happen with all the other matches, right? But this particular match has a built-in backstory that you can lean into that, like, they just actively chose not to do.
Yeah,
which is annoying. The whole eliminator thing is really odd to me. Like, it's like they're like the champ is going to fight in an eliminator match. So if the champ loses, the person who beat them gets a title match. Like, that whole concept is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of weird. But anyway,
it's actually weird to say, but if you think about it, it's actually a very WWE concept. WWE would not call them eliminator matches, but they very consistently would have champions, not the world champion per se, but like the IC champ would lose pretty consistently on TV if it was a non-title match to the guy he's going to defend the belt against.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very WWE booking thing.
Yeah, I agree.
The only difference is that AEW tends to always have the champ win and the person never gets a title match, as opposed to WWE where the reverse would happen. The other guy would always win and then end up with a title match.
Yeah, some stuff they do that AEW does should be something they do that they should be doing some of the WWE stuff that they do.
Right. It's like I even still think about this to this day. Like, that's why I feel like when they start off with a promo segment on AEW, it's noticeable and it's usually a very interesting promo segment because they normally don't open up their shows with a promo segment. Which is like the opposite of WWE, where it feels like they open every show with a promo segment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like when they do it, it's interesting. I will say, what was it? Collision last week was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
It was like an episode of SmackDown. I'm just going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you.
I was
Fuck, am I watching SmackDown?
I was so pissed off about I was watching, was it SmackDown? Yeah, I was watching SmackDown this Friday. And I remember because they were going over what happened on Monday night and then also going over what happened last week. And I'm like, it was the Jimmy and Jay stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this just happened earlier tonight. And then the other stuff was on Monday. Why you guys were like, I was so fucking frustrated. I was like,
cool.
How is no one following the Bloodline stuff and watching this show?
Yeah, I'm cool with them showing something that happened on Monday because it was a different night at a different time.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with that. I do agree with you. I hate when they're like, earlier tonight this happened. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking
because it's like,
act like I'm
when
stupid.
it gets down to it, you're doing 2 hours of 4 or 5 matches, and then most of the other stuff's just filler of nothing. SmackDown and Raw have become Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
It's just filler. It's just a lot of bullshit and filler and talking about stuff that already had happened already.
Yeah, I will say at least AEW doesn't do that. They don't treat you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like an idiot watching that stuff.
I will say that I think AEW at times tips too far in the other direction.
Yeah.
And thinks that you watch all of the shows and thinks that you know independence and like know everything.
Well, that's the thing.
Which is a turn off.
Excalibur tries really hard to explain people.
Yeah,
when they come on.
It's a big turn off for a casual fan.
I think Okada has been exposed enough to AEW that people are like, yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah, there's
some rare occasions like Will Ospreay's a big like, oh yeah,
because he's been around for a while.
I wonder if he beat Speedball yesterday.
I don't know.
On Impact. You know,
Impact
is getting a big wrestler.
That's a big wrestler?
Yeah, they're getting a big, huge. They might be getting a big, huge wrestler.
Who?
I believe is Phil Brooks is his name. They said he's really big. He's been on.
Wait, Did they like announce this and
No.
I'm not aware?
No, but they said he could possibly go to Impact. I'm like,
I don't think
he's
so.
not gonna go to
I thought you were going to say that Impact announced their rebranding.
Okay, so Bones told me that last night, and I thought he was joking.
No,
Why?
I don't know.
It's one thing to rebrand, but why go back to the old way?
Because it's a
Go on.
because it's a brand name that people know. I don't know.
I still call it TNA, to be honest.
Because they can chant it.
I don't think that's going to get him more fans.
I don't think so either.
That's not going to help their
Yeah, I
numbers.
don't know why they're rebranding back to TNA. It's a
they
very
announce it last night?
interesting. Yeah, there's like a whole like 4 like almost 5 minute weird video package thing, dude. It was weird as fuck. They're like walking in the like. There's a bunch of wrestlers walking in the forest, and then they come upon a lake. And what's his name?
Bubba Ray?
No, he used to Frankie Kazarian has
Oh,
like
I
this
know that
big
guy.
chest, and he brings it out of the lake, and then they're all like talking, and he's like, "We all know why we're here. We got something about like we were complacent, and then like we achieved everything that we wanted to, but that means we didn't dream like big enough or something." And then they break the case open,
Frankie,
and it's
what are you saying?
and then they break the case open, and it's and like it's TNA, and so they're gonna go back to being called TNA.
Isn't a big graphic that was digitally altered? Like he's just looking at nothing, but in the
Maybe.
post.
Dude, you have to watch this thing. It's fucking. I swear to God, I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this must be almost done. And I clicked the thing, and I was like 2 minutes into it. There's still like another 2.5 minutes left. And I was like, I'm so bored. I don't want to watch this video anymore.
Oh
It was
god.
bad.
So
It
yeah.
was weird.
So Impact is now
Impact's
tits and ass.
Tits and ass again.
Once again, tits and
TNA.
ass. Tits and ass. Tits and ass. Because
But
you can't say total nonstop action. Total nonstop action.
no, you just need 3 letters to chant.
Uh,
That's why our company never worked out. We were 4 letters.
also, we didn't have an audience, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, we were pandemic before pandemic.
No, we
We were
were
pandemic
nobodies.
We were
before-
pandemic wrestling before there was pandemic wrestling.
It's not what that was.
They copied our formula.
What formula is that?
No fans or
Computer screens?
people would chant and they and count and stuff, and they were just the other wrestlers.
I don't like any of what you're saying.
They copied our formula.
Hey, a week ago from today, I met a woman by the name of Mercedes. She
cool?
was very nice.
She
said
was it the day that she was dressed as
Woody?
Woody or
No, it was the day she was dressed as Harley Quinn.
okay.
I asked her about that too. I said, did you enjoy All In? She said yes. I said they treated you like she were goddamn Taylor Swift at a football game. I said, but yeah, they kept.
play it.
I told her straight up. I was like, they kept signaling to you when the Acclaimed are on. She's like, oh, that'd be fun to work with them. I said, yeah. I was like, Billy Gunn's great. They're all great. And then I said goodbye. It's a great lady. I went to New York Comic Con. It was great. It was fantastic.
She
I loved
loves
it.
scissoring.
Whoa, hold on. I never said that.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought that's
I mean,
what
I
you
don't
asked
know.
her.
I don't know her personal life. Whatever. She does what she's into. Oh, the Acclaimed. Right. You were talking about the Acclaimed. I met Orange
Yes, I'm
Cassidy.
talking about the Acclaimed.
I got my poster signed of the
Nice.
Beach Break, Beach Break.
With him and
poster.
Adam Cole.
Yeah, and then it was cool because he was in a table next to Britt, and when I had her when he signed it, he was like, oh, he's like, hey Britt, check out this hunk. He pointed to Adam, and she's like, oh yeah, I remember when you guys were taking pictures for that. And then I told him how I was gonna get Danhausen to sign it as well. He's like, oh, you definitely should. He's like, that's pretty cool.
It's a shame that Adam Cole was hurt, so he couldn't be there, so you could just get both of them.
I could have got all 3 of them, really. I talked to Danhausen on Friday. Like, on the showroom floor, I just like, hey, how are you?
Right.
Him and Brody
forgot.
King were just kind of hanging out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, where are you guys going to be at later? And they're like, oh. I also talked to Isaiah Cassidy, Marcus Quinn, and Danny Garcia.
He did the dance. Do the dance. Do the dance.
He said, yeah, we're over in the one booth. I was like, oh, cool. I'll be over later. And then I
then
found
you never
out.
did?
No, I did, and I never like met them, but I found.
I got you.
But then I also found out that Thunder Rosa was there too.
Oh.
I was very upset I didn't bring anything. Will Hobbs is a great guy too.
Did you get him to sign your meat poster?
Yeah.
I just gotta get Miro.
And his manager was from I forget what the guy's name was, but his manager was from Lafayette Hill.
Really? Small world.
And then Will Hobbs was so confused by the word Conshohocken, which is where I'm from. And I said, we all know how to, I was like, me and the other guy knew how to spell it. And Will was so confused. He's like, I don't. He's like, how would you even spell that? He's like, Contra what? But it was fun. It was a fun time. I met Rikishi, Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm trying to think of all the wrestling stuff I did. There was someone else. MJF was as unamused as you'd think.
So he was.
Oh, I didn't.
He was
send you the
heel. He was
picture.
heel MJF.
I didn't send you the picture of what he did.
Although I
to
guess
my...
he's just being the normal MJF because he's our scumbag and we're his pores.
He just didn't seem like he wanted to be there, which is par for the course. It'd be weird if it was like Orange Cassidy acting that way, but Orange Cassidy was very nice and.
That's good.
Very
I thought about
appreciative.
they had Orange Cassidy's doing a signing somewhere in Philly on
Yeah.
like Tuesday.
Him and Brett, right?
Yeah, I thought about going, but I don't think I'm gonna go.
No, I'm off cons for a while.
I want to go, but the problem is like there's no so it's like some like shop or something in
It's some
Philly.
random shop.
And there's no like pre-sale or whatever. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna have to get there like early and like stand in line for like 2 hours so that way I know that I get to meet them because otherwise, like, you know what I mean? Like they're not like, oh, there's 100 spots, so we're gonna sell them, and then like, so you're guaranteed to get in. I was like, I'm not guaranteed to get in. So I was just like, forget it.
Shit, I forgot already. Yeah, no, I'm off cons. I don't think I'm going to be doing much for a while. Maybe like the only way that, and this is off wrestling, but the only way that I would go to a convention if it was Keith David. That's one of like the big ones. There's like 5-6 things I could have him sign, and I really want to meet him.
Yeah,
Keith David's amazing. Anyway, that was a weird rant. I mean, he was fucking Halo, man. Halo, fucking Spawn, Princess and the Frog, man. Community,
Goliath,
Rick and Morty, Goliath. Thank you. Just a bunch of shit. I saw Lexington at Walmart the other day. I was almost gonna buy it. Yeah, I didn't though. King of Prussia, if you want to go get it.
Fuck, I have it pre-ordered. I'm still waiting for it.
I have him.
From Big
I have
Bad.
Goliath and
I have
Hudson.
mine up over there. Behind
Goliath
you.
Hudson. I can't even see because of the sun. Anyway, we got off wrestling for a bit
we
there.
did.
But yeah, it was a great time. I'm gonna be off. I'm so like exhausted to the point where like I'm kind of tired out on cons now. But I definitely would go back to New York. New York is a lot of fun.
Yeah, the time I went, it was a lot of fun.
So many surprises.
It was expensive as anything, but I had a
Yeah.
great time when I
absolutely.
went. So I mean, I also stayed at a hotel that was a couple blocks from the
That's what I need to do.
convention.
I'm gonna be honest and blunt. The team I was with was not prepared at all for what they were. They are
Not prepared mentally, not prepared physically.
Both. Let's
Both?
go with both.
Okay.
They are not the people who really like walking. I was like a small child to them because they're like, oh, we lost Aaron again. I was gone. I was busy doing stuff. The biggest
Yeah.
thing for me was I had a reservation to have a comic book sign comic books, and I was not going to miss that because not only did I want to meet her, but also it was free, and all of it was free, and I wanted to get those things signed. And if I missed it, then I didn't get another chance. So
Right. Yeah, it's 2 floors. There's a lot of walking. It's a huge con.
yeah, they would have to take 20 minutes every couple, like every 20 minutes they'd be like, all right, well, let's sit down for a little bit. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It was such a good workout for me. I loved it. Walking around New York was fun.
Cool.
Just in general, I had a fun time. But yeah, it was cool. Brody King was just kind of hanging out on it was him and Danhausen in the NECA area.
Okay.
And they were just kind of like hanging out. By the way, there's more fucking of those Universal Monster Ninja Turtles coming out.
I did see that.
And it's not like a new person. It's just like Raph as the Wolfman and Leo as the creature of the Black Lagoon.
Right.
So I'm like, that's fucking annoying. I already have those two as other creatures.
No, they're really the only ones that people would care about to
I do want the Wolfman.
see. There you go.
I mean, I probably will buy all of them.
I saw they announced the some of the Secret of the Ooze stuff. So I think I won't get that.
The whatchamacallits? Oh yeah, the professor guy.
Professor guy and
the professor guy. That's his name.
The professor
in the
guy.
movie.
They announced the Shredder throne, which no thanks.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, because he whatever.
When was that
It's
used
useless.
in the movie?
Yeah, I was like whatever.
I can't think of it. And if it wasn't very prominent to
Right.
be like.
What's his name? The pizza delivery
Kato?
kid. Yeah, he was
It
the
was
other
Kato.
one.
But yeah, Gargoyles kind of took a side because of the Universal Turtles. That's why I've only got 2.
Yeah, I think Gargoyles was showing some stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same company, right? NECA makes the
Yep.
Gargoyles too.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to announce more of the folded wings. I'm debating about like trying to Google. I'm debating about searching on eBay to see if I can buy the
wing straight up.
yeah, to buy the folded wings, cuz like otherwise to get the folded wings I have to buy the chick. to get-
Demora.
Yeah, to
I
get
hate her.
Brooklyn, I think it is.
There's a concept where like I fucking hate that bitch in the show.
Yeah, and I'm just like I have no interest in
Such a fucking Karen.
like I've no interest in her. I want just the folded goddamn wings.
Speaking of collectibles and wrestling, since we're coming back to wrestling, I bought the Captain Insano Micro Brawler,
Nice.
and unfortunately, ProWrestlingTees.com have their own one that's not on AEW. That is the Dusty Rhodes one, and it goes to the Dusty Rhodes Foundation. And there's also a chase of him being bloody. But yeah, I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna get that one. But I don't have enough money. It's hard times, Daddy.
It is hard times, Daddy.
There was a guy who I said that to at New York that was dressed as him. So hard times, Daddy. And he turns and he goes, hard times. And he walked away because we were just walking past. But yeah, I will have a video up on New York Comic Con eventually.
Nice.
But yeah, it's wrestling's been meh for me. I'm not saying that we're gonna stop doing this, but I think you and me both have been too busy to kind of talk about stuff. I mean, Adam Copeland was a big deal, but
yeah, we didn't even talk about Adam Copeland coming in, which now I feel like it's taking this weird, interesting turn. Adam did that promo on Wednesday where he was like, I'm not here to fight Jay.
yeah.
And so I was like, is this like the official promo where we're moving on from this? Like, and Adam's going to go on to fight somebody else? And
I think what we're gonna work on is push to the breaking point that Adam can fight him. I think it's gonna be like, I'm not going to, fight you because I think that was their idea to begin with. They're gonna start off with him. I don't know. I feel like they're eventually going to get to them doing.
they'll
them
do
as
a tag
team.
run. Yeah, they'll absolutely do a tag run.
But I think the
I
concept.
agree. I agree on the decision of not doing that tag run right now. Like,
Yeah.
Christian is way too much on like a really good heel run.
But
right now
I think
to-
that's it. I think the concept that when they went into thinking that he's going to come to the company, they're going to go, well, Christian's red hot right now. They're not going to try to
Right.
take that away from him. So what we'll do is we'll have him feud with him, and whether or not he beat, like, Christian could still beat Edge and not win the TNT title, whatever. But they're going. I think what they should do, granted they might not do this, they should do the match, eventually get Edge to a point where he has nothing to do but fight him, and move to doing, having that match against him, because then you get to the point where like I think it's Adam is really trying to do these storylines where it's just like, he is my friend. I've known him forever. I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to do, and it could be like whatever they do, but it's going to be an eventual, I think, breaking point of, I eventually have to fight my best friend, even though I said I'm not going to.
Right. To go off on to jump to a different point. Kenny Omega backstage, doing a promo. MJF.
Yeah,
Whispered
you
to him
mentioned that.
13 days.
You mentioned that.
Yep.
It's Halloween?
No.
What's that?
It is. So MJF said it to him, and the commentators later confirmed that at the time of Dynamite,
Mhm.
MJF is or was 13 days away from beating Kenny Omega's record for longest reigning AEW World Champion.
Really?
Yes, which is also so it's also really weird that they would. So totally makes sense. But I feel like only would make sense if Kenny Omega had a chance to stop him. Which I don't think is going to happen because, two, MJF doesn't have the world title right now. Like, it's really weird that he would walk up to Kenny Omega and brag about beating his record in 13 days when he is not walking around with the belt. It's really weird. I get what they're doing, and I like it that that there's like this interplay of like anybody could interact with anybody at any time, like interestingness.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed really weird because he doesn't have the world title right now. Like it's almost like Kenny Omega should have been like, "Well, where's the belt?"
Wait, where's the belt?
Yeah, like he should have like said something back to him instead of just being like, "Oh, I'm so mad that you're gonna beat my reign," you know? like he didn't say anything. He was like, I was like, man, he should have had a snarky comeback ready for him.
It sounds like something more that's to give it to attention to the.
Yeah, and like I feel like it could have been really cool if they weren't doing this whole Bullet Club is holding the title thing, because then they could have kept the match with MJF and
Juice?
Jay White,
Oh.
For full gear. But if MJF at least was holding on to the title, then like they could have like done a pivot route where not this upcoming week in Philly, but the week after, you know, they could have been like, all right, well, he's going to take the record as of like tomorrow. So let's do Kenny Omega versus MJF for the world championship as our main event of Dynamite. And it's basically like, is Kenny Omega going to win and win back the championship, or is MJF going to beat Kenny Omega and officially beat the record? Like that could have been a whole story in itself.
Yeah.
That they're obviously not, and that's fine. That's not a story that they want to tell, so that's fine. It just seemed odd that he would bring it up, and we're supposed to like be flabbergasted when like he's not even walking around with the title and he's getting punked out every week by the Bullet Club.
Yeah, I think right now what I'm waiting for is the padding for time till we find out who the devil was.
Right. Yep.
Because I'd like to find out who that was.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I hope Juice Robinson wins on Wednesday.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
They
dropped that quarters.
Drop the quarters.
Dropped the quarters bit. That was offensive for some people, so they had to drop it.
I have opinions on that. So I want Juice Robinson to win because I think the Diamond Ring is, and like the Battle Royal, and the fact that like you win the ring for a year, and like there used to be like also like kind of a cash prize with the ring and everything. Like it used to be cool, and I feel like because MJF has done it 4 years in a row, it's not cool anymore. And I feel like if MJF wins, it's a total like, all right, now he's had it 5 years in a row. Like, why are we like? It basically gets to a point of like, why are we even bothering with this Dynamite Battle Royal thing? Because every year we're just gonna have somebody win the Battle Royal and then lose to MJF.
The diamond ring. No, the diamond ring reminds me of the FTW title, where it's just like, yeah, Taz brought it in, and the person who was made by Taz is going to have it for forever. But
right,
you know, we decide who wins it and who, you know. I think it's just like he's like, oh, I have this cool diamond ring. We should integrate it into the matches.
Yeah.
And but I'm gonna keep winning it, so it's fine. But it's a cool ring, isn't it? Like, you know.
Yeah. Like the first year it was really cool. The second year it was cool. The third year I was like, Like maybe we could beat MJF because he did it the first 2 years. So I was like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity for somebody else to beat MJF. They didn't. And then last year, Ricky Starks was like, I'm gonna fight you for the ring and the title. And I was like, well, MJF is winning. So now the fact that MJF has done it, they've had it for 4 years. MJF has done it all 4 years. Like, it doesn't, like, nothing about it interests me anymore.
Do you think?
So I feel like Juice needs to win it.
Do you think? I'm sorry, you made me think of Ricky. Do you think? Well, I guess it's not completely unmotivated. So, do you think that Ricky is going to, or sorry, Swerve is going to end up like Ricky, where he's super over and then just kind of slowly peter out and just?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of happening right now.
I hope not, but Swerve should definitely be on.
He doesn't really seem to have a direction or a storyline or anything. So
It's just a shame. It's a shame.
it is. It is.
I truly believe that Swerve should be the first AEW champion, the first black AEW champion. He seems like a perfect fit. He's a great wrestler. He's a just all around overall like he's better. I think he's better on some parts than I'll say Starks or Allen or a lot of people like on the mic in the ring. I think he just works because like Darby Allin's great in the ring, but I think on the mic he's kind of like there's parts where I'm like I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really getting it. Same with like a lot of the Four Pillars. Some of them just aren't good on the mic, but they're great in the ring.
Yeah.
And I think Swerve is just checks all the boxes for that, and I think he's a perfect person to be an AEW champion.
Yeah, and I'm a little sad that on Wednesday that he attacked. What was it, this Wednesday or last Wednesday, where he attacked Hangman and then Hangman attacked him back? I think that was last week.
Yeah, was he
Or
even
2
on
weeks
this
ago.
week? Was he even on this recent week?
No, it was him and Prince Nana did a quick little promo because of the music video or whatever. Yeah, so it must have been 2 weeks ago. Because like he beat Hangman, and I really was like, okay, like this is good. He beat Hangman, like he wants his spot. Like let's like do something else with Swerve. Let's move. Like, not that I don't want him working with Hangman Adam Page, but I was like, okay, like he did it. Like let's keep moving him up.
Yeah,
instead
you move.
of
He beat him. You just move
Right.
on.
But they're doing the like heel cheated to win, so now babyface is gonna come back at him thing. So like we're gonna do, we'll do another like 4 months of Swerve and Hangman, I guess. I don't know.
Man, WWE really knows how to tease us, and AEW knows how to just give it away for free. It's the two differences. Where WWE will be like, no, don't let them fight. Don't let them fight. Wait till you get to pay-per-view. They'll fight. It'll be great. And then we'll either move on or we won't. But then AEW is like, yeah, let's just let them fight. We'll fight the first night before the pay-per-view, 4 weeks before the pay-per-view, and then...
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I mean, even if you do, like, okay, have them fight in the first week, but then the pay-per-view should have, like, a special stipulation or, like, no holds barred or whatever.
So to go back to my original point, I really hope Juice Robinson wins the Dynamite.
Yeah, we got off topic there.
Dynamite ring. Personally, I feel like the booking decision that makes the most sense would be if Juice Robinson wins because of Bullet Club interference, and then Bullet Club are beating down on MJF, and we can get the Acclaim to do a run and save to set up the 8-man tag that they've been
that actually looks exciting.
So I'll say they've been hilariously setting up, because I fucking love these backstage interactions between MJF and Max Caster. Fucking hilarious.
I think that even on the like when they would do like commentary for Creative Pro, I think they're still pretty funny.
Yeah, so I think that's how Dynamite ends this week. You set up that 8-man tag, finally, and you get the Dynamite ring off of MJF. I think I think it'd be very interesting. And then we move to the 8-man tag where you can get a huge fucking pop because somewhere in that match or at the end of the match, MJF will scissor. And the crowd will fucking lose their shit.
I would like that. I would like that very much.
So
I would like for our champion to scissor.
I think it
First
would be
scissoring
fantastic.
champion.
First scissoring champion. That's not true. First scissoring world champion.
That's what I'm saying. Our first champion to ever scissor.
Mm.
Kenny Omega have a scissor? Chris Jericho have a scissor?
No, listen
I'm
to the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I know what you're saying. What I'm saying is, anyone who has had the AEW champion, have they ever scissored before?
Right. Well, that's not what you said, though.
That's what I'm saying now.
You didn't. Okay. I'm just saying you didn't put that preface in the first time. You said first scissoring champion.
First scissoring
AEW world champion.
Semantics.
Okay.
First scissoring AEW champion. God.
And even if you went in that direction, technically the tag titles are called the AEW World Tag Team titles. This is fun.
No, it's not. It's not fun.
It's
at
fun
all.
for me.
It's called semantics, and I hate it.
It's fun for me.
So, yeah. We have fun. We have fun here.
We do.
You glad to? Maybe next week we can record and we won't be off topic and just talk about whatever we've missed for the past couple weeks. Because I feel like we do that whenever we come back. We just like talk about whatever the hell. Because there's such a span of time that we've missed that at least like with week to week we go, this is what happened this week. This is what's gonna happen. This is what we think's gonna happen. This was just like what has happened since we've been gone?
Free for all.
Did you see the Undertaker came back and chokeslammed Braun Breaker?
I did.
Oh, so many people were watching it. Not
so
me though.
Many people. I was not. I liked somebody. So somebody. I forget who. I saw somebody had like tweeted or posted or something, and they were like, "Here's the interesting thing about like them going back about the AEW versus WWE like booking styles.
Yeah.
Like they're going head to head, and so to do that, they're like trying to put on quote unquote the best show that they possibly can.
Yeah.
And so they were like, if you look at how they're marketing everything, AEW is very much marketing and going from the perspective of we're going to put on the best card possible to give you the most entertainment that we can. And WWE's booking is basically,
look at all these people.
Look at all these people. Yes, basically like. You don't know who's going to show up. Who's going to look at all these people that are going to show up, and that was their booking
guy
style.
might show up. The guy with the shirt that says "Never Give Up." The guy the dead guy. We're gonna have the man there. We're also gonna have Cody Rhodes, who's general manager now or something. I don't understand.
Yeah, that was weird. I did like the Undertaker. Speaking of when he was there, did chokeslam. I did like when he held the mic out and then punched him in the face. Look over here, pow!
I do remember that.
That was great. Look over here, pow! And the audience was chanting "yeet" at him because of the
yeah. Yeet.
Whoa. Oh, yeet. Yeet. That shit was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. That was probably, and then like they're like, oh, by the way, losing the titles.
They did
Lost
lose
the titles
right.
next week. Yeet.
Yeet.
So how much? When's Money in the Bank? Because I feel like Damian has had that forever.
Bro, Money in the Bank was earlier this year.
Bro, maybe. Listen, bro. Maybe
Money in the Bank was in July.
Listen, bro. Maybe because of the fact that everything is just monotonous. Fucking everything about WWE is just it's torture.
July 1st.
It's like AEW is just like, oh, that was fun real quick. That happened fast.
He's had it for 3 months.
But WWE, Jesus Christ, am I stupid?
Yes.
Oh,
July 1st was Money in the Bank.
Oh my God.
From London, England.
I swear WWE is like torture. Torture. I pop that T on the torture.
August, September, October, almost 4 months.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Next
terrible.
Next Wednesday it'll be.
You want to know good programming from WWE is the fucking Shotzi and Scarlett going into haunted houses with celebrities. They're actually pretty good. I
Oh.
really like them.
I'll have to check that out.
They went to Penhurst last with Drew McIntyre.
Ah.
The best part is that you never know when Karrion Kross is going to be in the episode because he's married to one of them,
That's true. He is. You're right.
and he's pretty funny. On his episode, they went to a place called Bobby Mackey's or something like that. That was the place. It was like an old music place that would perform shows. Supposedly, people say that a gate to hell was there, and that many people died. And there's one part where he's in the chair, and I kid you, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna step away from the mic. I'm gonna do this. This is literally what he did. As the camera is zooming, like walking up to him, he's just like, ah, and then stopped, and then it scared the shit out of everybody on set.
Nice.
Like he just acted like he was being possessed all of a sudden for like a quick 2 seconds. Scared
like
the
it.
shit out of everybody. I loved it.
I like it.
No, I'm just playing.
I was just playing, guys.
But he definitely believed. Him and Scarlett definitely believe in an afterlife and spirits and
Ghosts?
well, they don't say ghosts. They say spirits.
Oh.
Scarlett
Spirits.
makes it a very good point to the Good Brothers in one episode. She's like, you can't say ghosts because then it's just something, I don't know, something they don't want to be called. They say spirits.
Interesting.
You can get wine and spirits down the street
That is a shop.
because it's alcohol as well. But yeah, Scarlett seems very into the whole concept. Like she'll go through and like try to talk to them. Excuse me, and she'll be like, "You're not allowed to touch me," which I can see why. Kibbles just giving a big grin. You're doing
get
like
it.
a Robert De Niro.
I get it.
It's
I
good.
see it.
It's good.
It's good advice.
Yeah, she says you can't touch any of us. You're not allowed to touch any of us. And now that I'm saying it, I feel immature because I never thought of it like that before. And I'm like,
You are
when I'm
immature.
explaining it to you, the Scarlet thing is funnier because she's very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very in shape and attractive woman,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but she has to explain to them, I am taken. You're not allowed to touch me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
Well, I might not know.
he said there was one where the one with Karrion Kross in it. He, the little thingy that has them try to communicate. They said Scarlet back to them, and then also said mine. And she's like, "How do you feel about that?" He goes, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm alive. He's dead. What does it matter to me?" He's like, "Cause see how well he tries to take you from me, cause I'm still breathing."
Interesting.
He's-
He's invoking the rage of the spirits.
No, actually, it's a good point that you mentioned that. Drew McIntyre does not give a fuck about ghosts or spirits. He believes in them,
Mm-hmm.
but he does not give a fuck. He tried to invoke so many people. He's like, why can't you move something? Are you too weak? And he's like, Jesus Christ. Like Karrion's like, oh my God, what is he doing? Because in
Interesting.
the Penhurst, like halfway through the episode, Karrion Kross shows up to fuck with Shotzi.
Yeah.
But it's just anyway.
All right.
I'm glad you're good, friend.
I'm good.
These lovely talks we have every other couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make a wild prediction like the Adam Copeland said? So like if we don't talk to each other for another couple of weeks, you can say that you're right.
Oh, what the fuck?
Just make a wild prediction.
What kind of prediction could I make?
don't know.
That's wild.
It's wild. I'll say Swerve is going to beat Orange Cassidy for the international championship.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know when, but it's going to happen. I'm going to say it right now, he's going to be the next international champion.
That's a good one.
Just give it to him, dude. It's just going to be good. It's going to be good for everybody. And start doing goddamn actual grudge matches and feuds and stuff and not just doing fucking weekly things. And I think that the problem comes from the fact that they are quarterly pay-per-views. So they can't keep doing, but like also just do a feud and do it to your own parameters and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we never know when stuff's gonna end. Like, and also the other night they did what was it? Eddie Kingston versus Jeff Jarrett in like a Texas or Memphis
In a
street fight.
yeah.
Because you just put this wherever you're at that time, and
That's
just say
I
street
mean
fight.
that's a wrestling thing.
So stupid. We've talked about that before.
What? Yeah. Wild prediction. Okay, wild prediction. Instead of the Acclaimed coming out and helping MJF, Next Strong will.
Next strong.
Mm-hmm. That's their
Damn.
group name.
Okay.
Because the promo ended on Wednesday with Adam Cole leaving, and then Roderick Strong was like, "Oh, the only way that I can get my best friend back is I have to be nice to that scumbag." So yeah, instead of the Acclaimed, I think the Acclaimed is all a swerve, and it'll be Next Strong that comes out and helps them, and then Tony Khan will book that as the 8-man tag match. That's my crazy prediction.
I really wish I.
Although I feel like it's not that crazy now that the way I explained it.
The way that makes me think that I wish I had a girlfriend who was next strong. Heyo! All right, tell him to do the needful. And we'll be
Do
out
the
here.
needful.
Okay, bye. I love you.
Also, I literally use these for my job.
Are you talking about the hand thing?
Yes.
You'll be fine. One of the fingers will be off. Just one. You're not gonna. Did I say hand?
You said
finger. I meant finger.
Well, I thought you meant we'd lose a finger for every one we got wrong.
No. It's just whoever loses just loses one finger.
I still don't agree.